ليكن يومك للشعب ودادا ليكن حبك للأرض مداد.
Anyone who wants to change the norm must be ready to withstand the pressure, the peer pressure, the family pressure, the environmental pressure. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today, the next in the series of our articles of faith are the prophets. Now, Allah says in the Quran, آمن الرسول بما أنزل إليه من ربه والمؤمن كل آمن بالله والملائكة وكتبه ورسله لا نفرق بين أحد من رسله. This is where I am going. The prophets of Allah, we don't make distinctions between them. Fine, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala started this present generation of mankind from Adam alayhi salatu wasalam. Our prophet Adam is Habul Bashar, is the father of the present day human being. I'm not going to go into the details of his creation, but Allah created Adam, and then there are, according to many hadiths of the prophet, that there are lots and lots of prophets that Allah has sent to guide. Allah sent prophet to guide so that the prophet themselves can be the model of what they preach. You know, the prophets are there to exemplify, physical exemplification of what Allah has directed them to preach. You know, they want to change the norm. And when they change the norm, it's going to be a lot of sacrifice and self-denial. Anyone who wants to change the norm must be ready to withstand the pressure, the peer pressure, the family pressure, the environmental pressure. And these are the things that all the prophets, they exemplify, which I will try as much as possible to quickly illustrate. They are the models that we really need. And in this part and in this period, that the whole world is engulfed in destruction, is engulfed in corruption, is engulfed in everything that has devalued the value of human beings. The prophets are so many. 25 of them were mentioned in the Quran, and there are differences between the prophets, because the prophet, the Quran says that there are some prophets naqsus alayk. Some of them we relate their stories to you, and some of them lam naqsus alayk, we did not relate their stories to you. So this to show that even beyond those that were mentioned in the Quran and in the Hadith or in other books, of Allah, there are some that we did not hear about them. And they probably must have been sent to other parts of the world. So when we hear stories of some people who are righteous among those people who are not righteous, we can also think about them, liken them to the prophet, because the prophets are to relate the same story, the same message. Then there is difference between prophet and messenger. It's another form of hierarchy. A prophet does not come with rules. A prophet follows the rules established by a previous prophet. For example, Shit, alayhi salatu wasalam, had a lot of books revealed unto him. The Prophet said that. Then again, Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam was also a prophet and a messenger. So there are prophets who at the same time are messengers, but prophets who are not messengers are not giving books. So then again, between those messengers, we have also 5 that are called Ulul Azm min ar-Rusul. They have more responsibility because one at the particular time that at the people they were sent to, those that they were sent to are at the peak of corruption, and they are jabbar, they are tyrants. You know, when one person is a tyrant, it's different from when you have several tyrants in one society. And this is what distinguishes this prophet that we call Ulul Azm min ar-Rusul. And the first of them, according to ayah of the Quran in Surah Shura, is Shara'a lakum min ad-dini ma wasa bihi Nuh walladhi awhayna ilayk, to the end of the surah. And then in this surah, in this ayah, Allah described and then brought out the 5 Ulul Azmi min ar-Rusul and Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam. And when you look at the 5 of them, they shook the table. They denied themselves some opportunities that were offered. And they went through a lot of self-denial and self-sacrifice. Nuh alayhi salatu wasalam, by the time Nuh came alayhi salatu wasalam, there were a lot of idols which they are being worshipped instead of Allah. So it was Nuh that came that said this was wrong. So he came to change the norm. Then Ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam, Ibrahim came also. He came to change the norm. Musa also came to change the norm, because in fact Musa's case was facing the most difficult human being in the entire history. Allah also described him because he calls himself Lord, he calls himself God. So Musa had to face him. Then Isa alayhi salatu wasalam, Isa also had to change the norm, because there are a lot of corruption, there's a lot of division, and he started his preaching from the cradle. He started preaching from the cradle because he needed to defend his mother. He needed to defend his mother because his mother is being accused wrongly. And that's the good thing about Isa alayhi salatu wasalam. He defended his mother and he told them right from birth how and the reason why he was sent and why his birth was such a miraculous birth. And Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, it came at a time, at the darkest period of human existence. That is called Asrul Jahili. It came at a time where corruption, where indecency was at its peak, where human dignity was destroyed. And the Prophet ﷺ, he jettisoned all the enticement, all the opportunities, and stood on the moral ground, because Allah is said, Inni bu'istu an utammima makarim al-akhlaq. I have been raised to perfect all the characters that can bring honor and dignity to human beings. So amongst all those prophets, we don't distinguish between them. We don't discriminate. As Muslims, we believe in them, we adore them, we take them as our model. These are the things that we need to know to firmly establish our faith. These are the foundation of our faith, our iman in Allah, which will lead us to al-amal bil jawarih. If you don't establish all these things in your heart and mind, you will not be able to carry out the job that needs to be done and to gain the pleasure of Allah. أقول قولي هذا أستغفر الله لي ولكم والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
من بالبذل ساد قدر ما كان من منزل ولكن نحن لولاك لما شئنا اتحاد